When you were 10, one summer felt like forever. Waiting a week for your birthday felt painfully long. Now, January becomes June, June becomes December, and suddenly another year is gone. But here's the strange part. A year still has 365 days. An hour still has 60 minutes. So why does life feel like it's speeding up? Time isn't changing. Your brain is. And scientists think memory may be one of the biggest reasons why. Here's the first clue. When you're 5 years old, 1 year equals 20% of your entire life. At 10, it's 10%. At 50, it's only 2%. So each new year becomes a smaller fraction of everything you've experienced. It sounds like the perfect explanation, except scientists aren't convinced it's the whole answer. The mathematics is neat, but research suggests something more interesting is happening inside your memory. Think about childhood. New school, new teacher, first bicycle, first sleepover, first flight, first trip to the beach. Your childhood was packed with firsts. Your brain constantly had a reason to pay attention because everything was new. Now think about a random Tuesday as an adult. Wake up, work, dinner, phone, sleep. Wednesday? Congratulations. Do it again. And that's important because your brain doesn't remember every day equally. New and unusual experiences create stronger memory landmarks. Repetitive experiences can blur together. When you look back at a month filled with similar routines, your brain finds fewer distinctive memories. The month can feel compressed. Imagine 2 weeks. During the first week, you follow exactly the same routine every day. During the second, you travel somewhere completely new. New streets, new food, new people, new experiences. Both weeks contain exactly 168 hours. But when you look back, the travel week may feel much richer and longer because your brain has more unique memories to unpack. So maybe time isn't moving faster, maybe your memories are being compressed. But wait, because this gets stranger. Scientists have found that older adults don't necessarily experience every individual minute as moving faster. In one real-world study, younger and older adults were contacted 8 times a day for 5 days and asked how quickly time seemed to be passing. Researchers didn't find a simple effect where older people constantly experience time on fast forward. So age alone isn't the answer. Attention matters too. You've experienced this yourself. Sit through a boring 10-minute meeting and somehow it feels like an hour. Spend an hour doing something you love, look at the clock, and think, already? When you focus on time, it often feels slower. When you're completely absorbed in something else, time seems to disappear. But here's the weird contradiction. A vacation can fly by while you're experiencing it, yet feel surprisingly long when you remember it later. A boring week can drag while you're living it, but almost disappear from memory afterward. How can the same brain make time feel both fast and slow? Because your brain deals with two different versions of time. There's the time you're experiencing right now, and the time you remember later. Attention influences the first. Memory strongly influences the second. And researchers have actually tested this idea. In one study involving 473 people, participants were asked to recall important events from the previous 5 years. People who could bring more events to mind tended to judge those 5 years as having passed more slowly. Think about what that means. When your brain looks backward, it may partly judge a period by asking, how much happened? Lots of distinctive memories? The period feels full? Very few memories? 5 years can suddenly feel like, where did they go? And adulthood creates almost perfect conditions for this. As children, change is everywhere. New classes, new friends, new skills, new places, new experiences. As adults, we deliberately build routines because routines make life easier. Same commute, same workplace, same supermarket, same restaurants, same weekend habits. Your brain loves efficiency. Your memory? Not so much. When similar days pile up, they begin to blend together. Weeks become months, months become years. Suddenly someone tells you something happened 5 years ago and you say, no way, that was like 2 years ago. But here's the important part. Scientists don't believe there's one simple formula explaining why time seems to accelerate. Age, attention, emotion, novelty, routine, and memory can all influence our perception of time. Your brain isn't a stopwatch. It's constantly interpreting your experience. So here's the obvious question. Can you actually make life feel slower? You can't slow the clock, but you may be able to make periods of your life feel richer when you remember them by creating more distinctive experiences. And that doesn't mean you need to travel around the world. Learn something you've never tried, visit somewhere new, take a different route home, meet someone new, change an old routine, do something that forces your brain off autopilot and makes it pay attention. New experiences create memory landmarks, and those landmarks give your brain more information when it looks backward. Now think about something slightly uncomfortable. You've already lived thousands of days. How many individual days from the last 5 years can you clearly remember? Probably not that many. Those days weren't necessarily erased. Many simply weren't distinctive enough to stand apart. And that may help explain why childhood can feel enormous while adulthood seems to accelerate. When you were a child, almost everything was new. Your brain had endless reasons to pay attention. As an adult, your brain has seen Tuesday before. So maybe time doesn't actually speed up as you get older. Maybe life becomes more familiar. Familiar experiences create fewer distinctive memories, and when you look backward, your brain can compress similar days together. Same 365 days, same 24 hours, same clock, different memory, which means maybe the goal isn't to make time move slower, maybe it's to create more moments worth remembering. Because the year you're living right now will eventually become a memory too. And someday, when you look back, will it feel like an entire chapter of your life? Or will you wonder, where did that year go? Does time feel faster to you now than when you were younger? And what's one year of your life that still feels surprisingly long? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the hidden science behind ordinary things we all experience, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.